Let's teach you the best Town Hall 12 Witch attack that is better than Zap Witches, and let's see if we can 3-star a max Town Hall 12. What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt. Let's teach you my favorite Town Hall 12 war attack to use. That is the GoWiWi, using the Golem, Super Wizards, and Witches with 8 Earthquake spells. You heard me right. Now, the base identification does take a little bit more than a Zap Witches. In terms of a Zap Witch, all you're doing is looking at the base and saying, all right, can you get rid of 2 multi-infernos, or just 2 infernos in general, and then you're going to be charging in with either the log launcher or wall wrecker to go in for the 3rd inferno and the eagle artillery. And this base is a great base designed to use that attack on. However, this is not Zap Witches, and what you're going to be using with this is 8 earthquake spells. You are going to be opening up an area of the base that you're able to pretty much open the entire base up for all of your units. That way you're able to just clear through it with no problem whatsoever, because everything can move so freely. Along with this, you are going to be using the log launcher. This can get some extra damage on buildings that were within the use of the earthquake, but it can also whittle down the town hall health from a distance. You can also bring the lightning spells if you would like to make this some sort of hybrid style in order to easily move through. However, I've seen that doesn't work nearly as consistently as using the 8 earthquake spells. Overall, I would recommend this one over using the lightning spells included. This just provides much more support. So you're going to start with the use of the 8 earthquake spells. 4 earthquake in one area and 4 in another. That way you're able to open up this large area of the base where everything can be reached. You're then going to use the golems strategically. What I mean by this is you just want to spread them out to where they get the most value. As an example here, all 3 of these, you have one on the left, middle, and the right to provide so much support. That's all you want to do, so you can send in your super wizards. As you're pushing your way in, you've got the use of the Grand Warden ability to protect a couple things. Your troops and heroes, your log launchers, health, to easily start working their way to the town hall. I mean, if you take a look at the health, the town hall is like a sneeze away. So overall, all you want to do is use the free spells to go through the back end multi-infernos. That way the town hall can go down and the multi-infernos don't have enough time to get through a large amount of troops that are still left up on the map. Overall, the placement of the golems and looking at the base design, if it's something like this, where it's easy to funnel everything to go into the base, those are things that you want to consider. But overall, this is an easy base to look at. It's more of a rectangular base. Maybe some of you guys see this or not. But another tip of advice is sometimes you may see a centralized town hall, and using 4 earthquake spells on either side of the town hall, regardless if you're town hall 12 or 13, can actually be used really consistently, and you can get rid of the town hall from a distance. That is how strong the log launcher is with this one simple attack. And by far, I use this at Town Hall 13, and it is incredibly strong, and it's super fun to use. You will not, you won't stop having fun. If you like using witches and you want to also add a super troop like the super wizards, this is a fantastic option just because of the sheer fun that you can have with this, because you're not using just a normal Zap Witch, because that can be boring at times. Now I need some feedback. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the base identification, as I'm putting that a little bit more into these videos. And also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you've made it this far, and continue watching because we have more tips and possibly even a live attack. Unlike the previous base, this one is a bit of a wider style of base. This is where you have the infernos a bit more spread out to provide a lot of support for the base. How do you take advantage of these when using this attack is very simple. You mainly want to go in for at least 2 multi-target infernos. If the infernos are set to single, you don't need to worry about them. All you really need to worry about is the eagle artillery. The eagle should still be a major threat, and this is something that I didn't mention in the previous replay. Making sure that you get rid of it as soon as possible should be your #1 priority. Overall, you want to mainly look at that first along with the Infernos. The next thing is where to drop your Earthquake spells. And on a base like this where it's a bit more wide, you do want to use them a bit more diagonal. And I would always recommend this. Opening up a large area of the base for your super wizards, the witches, and your heroes to reach everything to move themselves into the core and throughout the base, even if the log launcher doesn't go in with the rest of your troops. Now, in order to make sure that this is possible, you can also go ahead and use something such as like a Zap Witch, and the base identification, like I mentioned in the previous one, is simple. You would just go into 2 Inferno Towers to Zap Quake those away, and then you're going to be using the Witches, the Log Launcher, your heroes, to get rid of the Town Hall, 3rd Inferno, and the Eagle Artillery, since they're all in a line. This is just something that I see on this base, but overall, it's a great option for those of you who don't want to use this attack, but mainly using the 8 Earthquake spells to open up a large area of the base for your troops is something that you want to consider. Now remember, if you're going to be using this, you do want to try and spread out your golems. It's fine if they do overlap. It's completely fine as you start to enter in, because you do want to make sure that you've got different troops like the Witch and the Super Wizards going on the left, on the middle, and on the right to easily start working your way into the core. Now, in order to make this simple, you do want to understand when to use Freeze, Rage, and your Warden ability. I would recommend using the Rage and the Warden to get into the core with any of your heroes, witches, maybe you've got some super wizards in there, so you want to provide a lot of support for them. Using the freeze spells on the enemy CC like Headhunters, and you could also use it on a back-end Inferno Tower like this example here. Using the freeze on it allows you to not worry about it and push your way into that back-end 3rd Inferno. Overall, you can overwhelm a base design even if they have multi-target Infernos. You've got witches on the left, witches in the middle, witches on the right. You've got a lot of different capabilities with this army. The main thing should be to understand where you should be placing in your earthquakes, where to enter into, and where the eagle and those 3 Inferno Towers are placed. Before we hit live, let's go through the base identification process for this base here. First, I wanted to look at the base overall. The base is very, very compact, so using the Super Wizards along with the Witches is a fantastic choice. The next thing I looked at were the Inferno Towers. I noticed that there are 2 single target Infernos, thus making it perfect for this particular base. Another thing I looked at were where the Eagle and the 3rd Inferno Tower, the one with the multi-Inferno, were, and these were in the core. Even with the Town Hall upgrading, we would have still been able to get through thanks to the Earthquake spells dealing damage and allowing the Log Launcher to push our way through. Overall, the free spells can be used on the multi-Inferno to delay the Warden ability, and we can use it on a single Inferno to make sure that the King doesn't get taken down. Alright guys, let's take on this max Town Hall 12 and see if we can earn a 3-star against it. So, let's go ahead and start with the use of the 8 Earthquake spells. I'm going to start right here. Okay, got some damage on the Town Hall. The Town Hall is not activated because it is going to be upgrading, so that is something, but we can take advantage of that. So I'm going to start with the Golem on the left, Golem in the center, and the Golem on the other side with a couple Super Wizards. And then I'm going to be sending in the rest of them with the use of the Log Launcher and the Witches moving into the core. And let's see, I'm going to use a Headhunter to provide a little bit more support against the Barbarian King. And we'll start moving our way into the core of the base. So I've got the use of Freeze. I'm going to use that first Freeze here. And let's use the Rage. And let's use the Warden ability. Protects a lot of things going into the core here. So we're looking fairly good as we're pushing in. We got the use of another freeze whenever we need it. I'm going to use my King ability here, get through this. Let's freeze up the single Inferno. Protect that King just barely. But we've got still a lot moving through. Look at the Super Wizards go in the core of the base. They're able to just smash through it. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see. Oh man, this is getting very close, but this is versus a max base, and we don't even have max heroes. So this is really, really good to see. This is a really good base for it. I'm going to use my queen ability here. So many witches. We have this poison left over. There wasn't a CC. We would have had to deal with it, but we had the golem there to tank. But overall, this is absolutely smashed. This is why I think that this is by far the best strategy, especially for witches in the game. And there you go, man. Absolutely, we got it done. I don't care about how much loot that we got. Let's see how much. I wasn't looking at it at the time, but oh my goodness, this is by far my favorite attack strategy. And it's just those small things that are really going to help you. We got some decent loot here as well. Last but not least, let's look at this one. The base identification for this is really simple. We've got single infernos. Yay! You can use the witches freely on single infernos. And the best part is you don't need to worry about using lightning. All you really want to do though is, and this is just my tip, and I said this earlier in the video, use your 8 earthquake spells to damage the town hall so the log launcher can take advantage of that damage and get rid of the town hall, especially if it's on a ring base like this. So you always want to consider those little factors. So for me, I did misplace my first Quad Quake, and it wasn't on the town hall, but I fixed that up on the other one, and I was able to damage that and the eagle. I was then deciding, all right, should I go in towards the bottom or the top? And I decided to go in towards the top because of the eagle artillery. So I spread out the use of the golems. So one golem here, and another here. That way I'm able to send in my super wizards and witches here, and I used 2 on either side in order to create the funnel. That way what you're able to do is use the Warden ability and the Rage early to boost up the skeletons and anything within there, and also using that log launcher to get rid of the town hall. At this stage, I had the free spells and I could really use them wherever. Overall, mostly it was to support the queen or the barbarian king, which I didn't need to do, so that was a big plus. But overall, the main thing is just allowing your witches to move through. And on a base like this, if you're able to get a large amount of your witches and your super wizards to move all the way through, is something that you want to consider. Overall, this is by far my favorite army to use. And if you are having fun with this army, let me know in the comments below. There's a lot of different factors that are at play here, and for Town Hall 12, this is by far one of the strongest options. And once you move up to Town Hall 13, this only gets stronger because you have the Royal Champion. And I would recommend checking out that Witch video for Town Hall 13 if you are planning on moving up to Town Hall 13. Let me know if this video was helpful, and if you guys enjoy base identification a little bit more frequently, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to check out any of the videos if you want to watch more. Make sure to also go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Use code Corrupt in Clash of Clans or in any Supercell game, and I'll be catching you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.